Hello, welcome back. I am Andreas Chat, your tech-curious web designer. In this video, we set up a media server with Cloudinary, which provides some free and time-unlimited storage with no credit card required, ideal for testing our app. If you're not entirely sure what a media server actually is, let me give you a quick overview by comparing it to a web server. A web server and a media server serve different purposes and have different features, which is why hosting services typically do not bundle them together. A web server is responsible for serving dynamic content and is rebuilt every time there's a new pull request, signifying an update is being pushed to the server. In contrast, a media server stores static files, such as images uploaded by users through a website, with references in the database. These files are static and generally remain unchanged. A web server handles HTTP requests and generates a custom response for each user. On the other hand, a media server is optimized for delivering large files quickly. Both servers can be scaled independently. For example, a web server could be scaled up by adding more RAM, that's memory, or CPU processing power. In comparison, a media server can be upscaled by utilizing a content delivery network, CDN in short, with servers distributed worldwide. In terms of technology, a Django app commonly uses a web server gate interface like GUnicorn in combination with a web server like Nginx, while a media server might use the high performance of an Nginx server to serve static files. So this is a very basic comparison between those two infrastructures and a very quick peek into the world of DevOps, which main task is to build and maintain systems optimized for an application and the user experience. Now let's explore options available for media storage solutions. Cloudinary is an excellent choice for storing files, whether for testing or smaller applications, because it provides generous free storage without time limit and it doesn't require a credit card, making the account creation straightforward. Besides file storage, Cloudinary offers also solutions for image optimization, transformation, as well as analytics. However, when dealing with a large amount of files and the need to scale, you may consider other options. One commonly used media server is Amazon's AWS S3 packet, which offers free storage for a year, but it requires a credit card for account creation, and the setup configuration is more complex. I will cover this in a future video. Other options include Dropbox as well as Google or Microsoft Cloud Storage. They all offer some kind of free storage, but may require a credit card to set up. Overall, for beginners, in my opinion, Cloudinary appears to provide the best offer. But if you know any other beginner-friendly services which integrate well with Django, please share it in the comment section below. Okay, that's enough introduction. Let's get started now by creating an account on Cloudinary. Let's go to cloudinary.com. Sign up for free. Here we can sign up again with GitHub, but for this we have to be logged into GitHub first. So let's go to github.com and sign in. Now we can go back and click the button. Then I click Authorize. And we have a new account created on Cloudinary. To connect to Cloudinary now, I'm using a Django package called Django Cloudinary Storage. So let's go to the official package website. So Django-Cloudinary-storage. So here we go to the PyPI link. And first let's pip install this package. So we copy the command and paste it in our terminal. Okay, I also upgrade pip quickly. Pip install dash dash upgrade pip. Alright. In case you're wondering why some folders here are gray, this has to do with Git, because they are listed in our gitignore file and Git doesn't track them. So back to the documentation. It says that we should install Pillow as well, but we have Pillow already installed, so we can move on. Next one, we have to install two apps. There are two options here. We are using only Cloudinary as a media file storage. So we're going with options 2 here and adding our two apps below the statics files app. Let's copy the lines and go to our settings.py file, to our installed apps. Here we have static files, so underneath here I add Cloudinary storage and Cloudinary. Okay, save this file, let's go back. Next we have to add the Cloudinary credentials here. So let's copy this section, back to our settings file, and I'm adding them to our media file configuration. So here we have the media URL and media root. So just underneath here, I add the Cloudinary storage. Now for the cloud name, API key and API secret, I will create now environment variables, because this data is sensitive and we shouldn't expose it. So I'm writing here env and the name of the variable, so cloud name. Alright, I do the same now with the API key and API secret. Alright, but let's add the prefix cloud to all of the variables so they are visible as a group in the env file. Like that. Save this file. Let's go to our .env file now. And here let's add the variables. So first we have the cloud name equals. Now let's head back to Cloudinary and get the values. So here I click now on dashboard. And here we have the cloud name and also API key and API secret. Let's grab the name first and paste it in here. Okay. The next variable is cloud API key equals, and paste the value. And then we have the cloud API secret and add the value. Alright, these are our environment variables. Let's save this file and go back to our Cloudinary documentation. Next, we have to add a media storage location. So we have three options here. We're using Cloudinary for images, so let's grab the first line. So copy and back to settings.py. And we add here the variable default file storage. Equals, then in quotes, we paste the line. So the media root here we will use in development, but in production we use the default file storage. This works for all models now which have the image field. So let's add now some if-else statement to have access to this Cloudinary storage also in development when we access our Postgres database. So here I'm adding now if environment is production or Postgres locally equals to true, meaning I have access to my Postgres database, then I'm gaining access to this media storage. Else, I'm accessing the local media root. Like that. Alright, let's check this out now. Save this file. Then I start up my server. So Python manage.py run server. Then I open up the page localhost colon 8000. Okay, this is data from our local database. Now let's switch to Postgres. So here I'm changing this value to true and save. Refresh the page. And as we can see, the data changed. Now let's update our icon for landscape. We log into the admin panel, /the boss. Then in tags, landscape, I choose a file, then save, back to the site. And as we can see, it updated this icon now. Awesome! So this icon is now stored on the Cloudinary media server. Let's check it out. Let's go to Cloudinary. Here we go to Media Explorer. Here Django created a media folder now. Here also an icons folder for our category images. And here we have our icon. And if you double click on it, you can see more information about this image. Alright. If you click on this symbol up here, you can also change the view of this gallery. Alright, let's upload an avatar image now. So I go back to my website, to edit profile. I choose an avatar image and submit. Now let's inspect it on Cloudinary. I go back to media here. It created now an avatars folder. Here's my avatar image. And here we see the data of this image. This image is very big, much bigger what we actually need for our website, with a file size over 1 megabyte, taking up a lot of available space on our server. Let's change this now to upload only the file size we actually need. For this, I install a package called Django-resized, and I resize the image before uploading it. So back to the code. So let's shut down the server first, and then pip install Django-resized. Alright, now we go to our models.py file in the users folder. Here I import this package. From Django_resized import resized image field. And here in my profile model class, I update the image property. I change the models.image field here to resized image field. Like that. Now with this one I can specify the size I would like to upload to the server. So we say here size equals, then in square brackets, the max width and height. And in my case I want a max width and max height of 600 pixels. So 600, 600. Okay, we can also add the quality. So quality equals, so the quality ranges from 0 to 100. I choose 85 as a value to reduce the file size without compromising the quality too much. So I say here 85. Okay, save this file now. We have to do a migration now. So we say python manage.py make migrations. And then python manage.py migrate. And python manage.py run server. Okay, let's upload this image again. Go back to edit profile. Choose the same file again and submit. And now let's check out this image in Cloudinary. Refresh this page. Double-click the image. And as we can see here, the width and the height is 600 pixels now, with a size only of 55 kilobyte. That's awesome. We're really just uploading now the file size we actually need. Okay, we're finished now with our changes locally. Let's deploy the code now to our server. So for this, first I go to my settings file and change the Postgres locally back to false. Then save. Now I get here some error message that I should update my local database with the changes as well. So let's do that now. So Ctrl C to shut down the server first. Then we do Python manage.py make migrations. Actually, the migration file is already created. We just have to migrate. So Python manage.py migrate. Alright. Now next, let's update our requirements.txt file, because we installed a few new packages. For this we write pip freeze, then the greater than symbol, and requirements.txt. Okay. As you can see here, the files with changes are displayed now in yellow here. So Git is telling us we should update these files on the remote server. But before we do that, let's add the Cloudinary environment variables to the web server. So let's go to render. Sign in with GitHub. Then we go to our web service. And here we go to the environment link. And we add environment variables. So the first one is the cloud name and the value. Then we add another one, the cloud API key, and the last one, the cloud API secret. Okay, and save changes. Now render is updated and we're ready to commit our code. So let's open GitHub Desktop. Here we can see the files which have been updated. Then here I'm giving a summary. I'm writing Cloudinary as the title. Then commit to main and push origin. Okay, now let's go back to render, to events. And here we can see now that it is processing and deploying this new commit. We have to wait until this process is finished. That can take a couple of seconds. And it's done now. We are live. Let's check it out. Open the website. And there we go. Our category icon and avatar are displayed. Let's add now the rest of the categories. So I'm logging into my admin panel. /the boss. Here I add the text now. Okay, that's done now. I added now all the tags with the corresponding icons. Back to the website. And here we go. All icons are on Cloudinary now. We can also right-click and inspect here. And as we can see here, the link goes to cloudinary.com. Great. Alright, this is all for this video. In the next one, we will connect our application to an email client. I will be using a free Gmail account for this. We need this email client to send emails to users when they sign up or recover their password. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, happy coding! Bye bye for now.